now comes probably the most interesting part. Another thing that come to my attention in these 14 years when I was studying and certifying myself in many different things. One of it, the family constellation method. I'm dealing with this tool, with this method for probably 10 years. And in these 10 years, I would see again and again one and the same thing, that how the individual is so much entangled with someone from their family system, mother or father or whatever, somebody else from the generations. And this, you cannot see it on the body graph, but I have seen it hundreds of times. And we know about the difficulties when we are 3 or more people, like in the family, the penta and the one and so on, that in the penta we lose we lose a great deal of our identity. But with the family constellation method, I have come to see that it is much bigger than the penta. I mean, it's penta and more. So I can just kind of visually explain to you what I have been witnessing and working with clients as well, but also witnessing when I was in training or going to sessions to other colleagues to observe how they work with the method. So basically, maybe some of you have heard about the family constellation. It is worldwide. It is not something that is known just here and there. It's quite well-known method. The method works like that. There is the client. The client has a theme, an issue that wants to look into through this method. So what if there is a group, the facilitator would ask the client, choose someone from here, from the audience, whoever you resonate with, to represent you, and choose someone to represent your issue. It could be like money or work or relationship, doesn't matter. Basically, what happens is that imagine this dot here is the client or the person who is representing the client. And then there is the issue. And then imagine that this third dot here is usually we facilitators put someone to represent life or love or success. And usually the problem is not the issue. The issue is that the person is entangled energetically, emotionally, mentally with some of the members of their family. It could be, as I said, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, it doesn't matter. And what I have seen so many times, excuse me, is that the person, the client, is so obsessed in a way, is so enchanted, is so hypnotized by this member of the family system, whoever that may be, that they can never turn and look towards life or the love or whatever this other representative represents. It's just not available for his or her own life. And there is some rituals and some healing phrases that facilitator can ask the client to say so that he or she stop being so identified and so entangled and so hypnotized and so connected with someone who they're not supposed to be in such unhealthy connection. And to start turning and looking towards that person who represents life. And it's not easy. I mean, so many often constellation, they stop. I mean, the facilitator stop the process because it's not possible. And the result of such session is that you're not ready to look to your life. You're so entangled with that person. So how can you live by your own authority when you're entangled energetically, emotionally, mentally with somebody else? No, you don't. And then people come to me and say, let's have a human design. Explain to me, like, what are my character traits? What kind of professional career and this and that. But in my own experience, such analysis is just 50% helpful, because if you are entangled with some of your family members, then you still would have the feeling that regardless of the information you have from human design or astrology or something else, your efforts is just things are not quite working. Yeah, it is. These are just facts, you know. I'm not trying to sell here anything. It's just how things work. We are very deeply entangled with our family system, penta or not. It's like you can live in the United States and your mother could be living in the other end of the world, like, I don't know, in Poland. I'm just imagining. You're still entangled. If you are, you are. And that prevents you from fully feeling and living your own authority. That's a fact. I have seen it with myself. You cannot. I'm not sure how many constellations I have done for myself as a client to stop being so entangled with my parents or with my grandmother. Quite a lot of work, I'm telling you. And then we are like that, human beings. We are really complicated. We are so multi-layered. There's so many things going on. We have to accept and love ourselves with all that complexity, because if we do not love ourselves truly, like truly, not just like a nice sentence, then you cannot master yourself, you cannot own yourself, you cannot transform whatever you need to transform, and certainly you cannot become an empire. And yeah, I think that's very possible to become an empire. I am the living example of that. So don't give up. I would like to take some questions, or if someone would like to share something about this huge topic in our authority, I'm really open.
Yeah, that was beautiful. So many pieces there that I'm sure many of us can relate to, right? Like, if you could just pop on your design again. I just love the way that you were speaking to all those elements that, yeah, it was such that fixed mind, as you said, the fourth line. I can only imagine. I'm a mental projector, and then all these other pieces, like the individuality and feeling in, like your metaphor, like that, the Russian doll, like, and feeling this pain throughout this deconditioning process, like, what the hell? Like, yeah, it does. It's like, whoa, am I gonna actually rest on this piece of the authority, or am I going to go with the mind? Because I've got to stop doing that. And it does, it feels a bit chaotic. I'm 5 years in now, and at times, and especially this year, very much so. But as you mentioned, the fourth year, yeah, it was this conflicting time, whether what is this? Am I going crazy, or is this actually part of the shattering and the breaking away from initiating from the mind? And yeah, it's quite profound. And unsettling in many ways. So thank you for being so raw and honest with your experience. So everything you said, I was just, yeah, it was just all there. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'd love to hear from anyone that has any questions or sharings. Yeah, that was wonderful.
I think some of the teachers in the beginning, they should have told me, listen, you have such a fixed mind, and it's in black. It's totally, you know, aware. You're gonna screw yourself up with this knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm so honest, honestly. Someone should have told me, you know, 4323 on line 4, even if you read that in the line companion, it says that's a mind that rarely succeeds. It actually fails. So, well done. I didn't fail. I was just about. and I actually managed even to help people, which is great. So
yeah, exactly. We learn from those that have gone through the actual experience, and it gives us hope. So thank you. You're really giving us some light at the end of our journey and tunnel. And as we were speaking to before, you know, we are sort of at that halfway point to 2027, and everything Ra said, it's all about trusting your authority. And now is the time to really lean into that, because that is all we have. And
I got chills on my back when you said that, like, really.
Yeah, I had many moments throughout your lecture. I was just like, yeah, I can feel, you know, what you've been through. It's, yeah, it's,
I'm really lucky I didn't lose my mind.
Yeah.
I think that's
like,
that's fair to say.
Yeah, it kind of goes into it gets stronger almost. It's like, no, listen to me. There's nothing to do unless, yeah, there's a response or the invitation and so forth. But yeah.